Hello folks, this is Karl-James Langford. This is part 2 of my video diary, my video log for Friday 19th of September 2014. Now this is the other part of the video log that looks at the train journey to the Ealing Studios and then back on this wonderful day of a Friday. And obviously voice a bit crook, but the good thing about the audition at the Ealing Studios today, Metropolitan Film School, was to it was actually the lead role in production, but it didn't need the use of my voice, which was a bit of a relief. It's still a bit hoarse, still a bit croaky, and hopefully I'll get it back over the next few days, because I got a big audition coming up for a panto, and I need to do some singing for that, so I need my voice back in order. Anyway, going to London now, 3 train journeys, 3 train trips. Going into Cardiff, everything was fairly okay. Then getting on the train, it was quite a packed train. We got on at Cardiff, and the train was delayed, and then we all had to cram onto this one train to get off at Newport and get onto another train. And I got chatting to a woman called Clara, and it started off with me getting into the carriage at Cardiff. 170 unit trains, Arriva Trains Wales. Oh my god, that sounds so geekish that I know the train numbers. Anyway, and everyone was standing in one pose or another with their mobile phones, tapping away, and it was odd. It was like 6 other people other than me in the corridor, not in the main carriage because it was packed, all tapping on their phones. So I thought, I'll take a photograph of this. But the woman on the right, called Clara, she had clocked this while she was on the phone. Anyway, so I took 2 images, and one will follow. Then we got off at Newport, and then we went to get on another train. And so I followed this Clara, and we basically, I said, oh, do you mind if I sit next to you? So I did. And so I sat next to Clara on the train. She's a nurse. And then we got talking, and I told her all about this production that I was going to audition for at the Ealing Studios. And the one thing, I'd only read over the script once. I'd made that clear to Natasha at the Ealing Studios that I'd only gone over the script once, because I only need to go over it once because there were no lines, and it flowed quite well. And obviously I understood it so well that when we were on the train, I basically, Clara got into this as well. We reenacted the full production, and that's what we did. So we've sort of doing the bit about doing the production, doing all the actions, and she was getting involved and stuff. And it made me realise that I knew the production that I was auditioning for really, really well, even though I'd only gone through the script once, because it was all in my head, because there were no lines. Strangely enough, that's probably why I remembered it all. Don't know. And then that was it. So eventually she got off at Didcot, said goodbye to it, and then I got on to Reading. It was great getting to Reading, because I don't think I'd really got off at Reading since they rebuilt it. I'd passed through it to London, but I used to get off at Reading twice, sometimes 3 times a week when I used to commute down to Crawley, near Gatwick, and it was a quite drabby place then, but it was really improved. It was really nice getting off at Reading. So anyway, if I ever need to go to the Ealing Studios again, It's easy because there's a whole platform dedicated to Ealing Broadway, whole platform, and it was really strange because it was like a train every 30 minutes or whatever, so that was good. So train would come back from Ealing to Reading and then Reading to Ealing, so it was good. So anyway, so I got on a train for Ealing and it started to get a bit packed. There was a guy with a bike on there who was actually a DJ. And that was nice chatting to him. He was telling me all about his DJing and stuff, and that was good. And then eventually I got off at Ealing, and oh god, Ealing Broadway, it was so packed. There was just so many people around. It was almost as if I was at Victoria train station again. It wasn't not really in the heart of London. It was really packed, and a bit of a long journey as well to get to Ealing. And anyway, got off at Ealing, and then the next bit is strange because I had no idea where the Ealing Film Studio was. I'd looked it up on a plan, got off the train, I had a hunch, followed the hunch. I thought, I'm not going to do this. But anyway, I looked at this little sign, and as usual, when I look at signs, it usually says that where I need to go is just around the corner. So I just went round the corner, and where I needed to go was, I got to the wrong place, and when I needed to go, the guy said, oh, it's just around the corner. So I said, oh, right then. So I was actually the first time in my life at a proper film studio. Obviously I'd done BBC work at the BBC studios, but Ealing is a proper film studio, and it was odd. It was like moving from the outside world in past the security, signed in, and he said you just got to go over there. So got over there, and they were waiting for me in the to do the audition, and in my heart, I actually feel that I'm hoping that I've got the part. I'm really hoping that I've really got this part. I really do hope that, because I really got in. They asked me to get in. Natasha, the filmmaker director, she asked me to get into character, and I wasn't really sure whether this was being filmed, but it was. And she asked me to get into character, so I did, and I think I got so much into character that then when we got into reality, I lost whether we were in reality or not, or whether we anyway. So it was really good. I like that, and I'm really hoping I got the part. I really do. So it'll be 3 days worth of filming in London, and that'd be brilliant. Anyway, so leaving there then, with hopes there as I left. I so wished to go into the tea tent of a production and get a cup of tea. Unfortunately, I didn't have that opportunity because they're all zipped up and all production vans everywhere, and wasn't able to do that. Anyway, so that's that. And I left the Ealing Studios and got outside, and I saw this really nice big chunky tree. And this chunky tree, London plane tree, was wow, awesome. And as I looked around, then I phoned Helen and about children, and then I looked around. And I just thought, this is like, what time is it? It's just coming on 7 o'clock, and people were still sat on the grass. It almost seemed London was hip. It's Friday now, but London's hip, London's swinging, absolutely awesome. So that was good. Anyway, the next thing, then I got on the train again. More or less managed to get all the way through from Ealing Broadway to Reading. It was packed again. Not much communication with anybody on that train, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, then the next job was getting off for Ealing Broadway and not Ealing Broadway, getting off at Reading, and the train was delayed by 40 minutes. I hadn't realised the earlier train hadn't turned up, so I think it was like 80-minute delay for the train going to Cardiff. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't go to Paddington. It would have been horrible. Anyway, got on the train at Reading. It was heaving. It was so heaving. It was unbelievable. It was so heaving that as we got on at Reading, I looked out the window and there were people with their heads out the window, and I waved to this woman called Frankie, and she said, "Oh, that's the way to be." And weirdly enough, I wish I had talked to that Frankie, but because that Frankie, when she then got off at I think it was Swindon, she waved to me. She said, "Oh, I heard you're an actor," and I thought, "Oh no!" And she said, "I'm an actor as well." And I thought, I gave her my business card as she left, and I hope she's watching this, and I hope she'd get in touch. Anyway, the train was packed, and it was a joyous. It was very joyful, this train journey. The people were beautiful, beautiful people. There was I can't remember any of the names of them, but there was this woman, another lady in red. She got on there. I was in the this is brilliant. I was in the restaurant carriage bit, and first class there, economy and restaurant carriage. So I sat there. I stood there, and they said afterwards that I was the one who entertained them all and got them buzzing. So I've made little films.
Say something, guys! Say something, guys! Come on, what's that something, man? Come on! It's gotta be 10! Awesome! Thank you, guys!
And I've made photographs that I've put in here. Lady in red bought me a drink of tea. And then weirdly enough, they were handing out free packets of crisps. Everyone was having free drinks, carlings and all sorts of things. I don't know what was going on there. They seemed to be free because there were drinks coming all over the place. I don't drink. But then somebody else gave me a bottle of water, and then somebody else gave me a bottle of Coke. God, little crisps. I got 4 packets of crisps as well. Really strange. Anyway, it was brilliant. It was really entertaining. I really loved those people on that train. I think there was were there some people coming back from football matches? Not sure. There was a guy with the Liverpool top on, and all sorts of things. So it was really entertaining. I loved that journey. And I ran out of business cards because I was giving them out to everybody, and we were singing. I was told to be quiet at one point. Loads of bags, loads of people standing all over the place. But I really, strangely enough, I actually felt I was actually part of something. The laughter was brilliant, and the little film that follows and the photographs. Hopefully, you'll notice that. And all back to the other thing with the image of the original image that I took at the beginning of this conversation. Clara noticed that I was taking a photograph, and I had to explain that to her. I think this is going to be more of a social sort of video. It's been quite long today, and then finally when I got on at Cardiff, I got on the train and talking to the train guards. That was really entertaining, really good time. Thanks for First Great Western and Arriva Trains Wales for your train service. Even though it was packed, delays, to be honest with you, it wouldn't have happened if that hadn't have happened. We might have not enough carriages, bits of flooding on the line, but I'm saying that not as a negative. It's brightened my week up again, so that's brilliant. And hopefully I do this job in London, and hopefully as these video logs progress, I'm learning more about editing and stuff. And thank you, all of you, for watching. Thank you very much.